What's good, nigga? Bro, so I'm here to make this video because I really want to talk about James Gunn's Superman fuck that name, fuck that title actually, because it's not Superman Legacy anymore. It's fucking Superman because he changed that shit. But I want to talk about James Gunn's Superman movie in this video. Kind of want to just break it down, just talk about it because I feel like I want to talk about more like stuff that I like, and I really love like DC and like superhero stuff. So I really want to talk about Superman. Like Superman's like my second favorite superhero. So, I already made a video about Superman before reacting to a video about Superman. So I feel like it's only right. But the first thing that I want to talk about is number one actually, fuck that. I'm gonna pull up the image of James Gunn's Superman logo that he released not too long ago, like literally yesterday or 2 days ago. I don't know. But yeah, he posted that and literally like everybody was going crazy. I was going crazy I was just like, bro, like this is the Kingdom Come logo and everything. So, but it's like obviously, red and yellow instead of red and black. But one thing I want to talk about, since the logo is so Kingdom Come inspired, and he's like made it abundantly clear that he took inspiration from Alex Ross, and he posted like he commented on one of the people's posts saying like, what inspiration did you get for the costume? He tagged Alex Ross. So since he's Kingdom Come inspired with the suit and everything, I want to talk about some storyline similarities that he could possibly do. Like maybe Magog. Like if you read the Kingdom Come story, Magog is a villain in the book that Superman fights, and it's like a whole like storyline that I don't really want to like get into because like if you want to read it, you should definitely read it. Because I don't know how much he's gonna adapt from that storyline, but he could also involve Magog. Could be like a little side villain that Superman fights in the movie before he fights the Engineer. This could be cool. And also the storyline similarities when it comes to Kingdom Come with the the superheroes coming back, the old, restoring order back to the the superhero landscape. But in a sense, Kingdom Come is kind of like a Western just with superheroes. So I feel like Superman's legacy could take inspiration from that idea. I mean, I feel like it will, because a lot of people are saying it's a reverse Kingdom Come story, but I feel like it could also establish a new order in a way where it's like all the heroes that are existing now, like Miss Terrific, who's going to be in the movie, and Hawk Girl and all them, can be inspired by him and like be like his like proto Justice League, potentially. I don't know. I'm just, we don't know a lot about this movie, so I'm kind of just throwing straws. Kind of want this to be like a discussion type video. Point number 2, I wanted to add Miss Tessmacher, who they're bringing back, and Otis from the Superman 1978. I'm wondering, it's a theory potential thing they could do with Miss Tessmacher, which would be a really cool idea. Maybe in the movie, Miss Tessmacher could potentially die. Potentially, just potentially, she could potentially die, and then Lex, with his $1 billion research into robotics and cybernetics, could rebuild her into some type of like Mercy Graves type character. Potentially, who knows? I'm just throwing straws, maybe, because I don't think James Gunn has casted Mercy Graves in the movie. So, and Mercy Graves is known as like she's been an actual person, but I feel like more modern interpretations of Mercy Graves is a cyborg, bodyguard of Lex Luthor. So, point number 3 that I wanted to add, I really want to talk about Lex Luthor's role in this movie because I feel like no one's talked about it. It's so weird because like we know the villain is the Engineer, and the Engineer is definitely tied to the Authority, which is a superhero group who kill people. But Lex Luthor is obviously like a main Superman's greatest villain, and he's kind of like pushed to the sideline. He's in the movie, but he's not going to be like a main threat. So, with that being said, if you don't know, James Gunn is actually close friends with Michael Rosenbaum, who, if you don't know, played Lex Luthor in Smallville, and he played the Flash in the DCAU. So, with that being said, they've also like did it. I think James Gunn went on his podcast, which I watched that episode, the Inside of You podcast, where he was talking about DC being this Westeros type of idea. And, obviously, since he's doing Superman and taking, some, inspiration from, different interpretations, i.e. Michael Rosenbaum's portrayal of Lex in Smallville. So I'm hopefully, Michael Holt, has some of that, some of those like similar characteristics that Michael Rosenbaum had in Smallville. And then, potentially they could take a lot of, story elements from that where Clark and Lex could potentially start off as friends, then become enemies, like in Smallville. So who knows? But yeah, I feel like Lex Luthor could be a very big role because honestly, that nigga's damn near a fucking Justice League threat. If you watch Justice League, the DCAU show, he's damn near a fucking up here because he's that fucking evil. Like Lex Luthor is one of the most evil niggas in the world. He's the OG evil bald man. Yeah, so I don't know. Lex Luthor could be an interesting player in this movie, so we have to look out for that. Point number 4. I was wondering, since James Gunn's movie is now changed from Superman Legacy to Superman, will Legacy still be a big part of the movie? I feel like it still will. I feel like he just wanted to change it because, he wanted Superman to be like this bold, like it's just Superman. Like this is the quintessential like when I saw that shit was fucking crazy. Just side note, that shit was fucking crazy. But I'm wondering maybe Legacy could refer, instead of referring to Superman's actual Kryptonian heritage and legacy, in the idea of like his family or like whatever, like legacy he wants to leave for the superhero world. I wonder, will Legacy refer to any other characters in the DCU? Like, will we get references to like places like Gotham, obviously, like Batman and Superman Legacy, and I'm about to call Superman Legacy Superman in the Superman movie. Like, will it be like references to Gotham and Central City and Coast City? Like, will we get references? We probably will, but they will probably be like in the background, like don't blink or you'll miss it type shit. And a point that I really want to talk about: will Legacy refer to the characters that we already have casted in the Superman movie? Because in this movie, if you haven't noticed, most of the superhero characters that we have, 3 of them at least, are actually Legacy characters. Because Guy Gardner is the second Green Lantern. Michael Holt, Mr. Terrific, is the second Mr. Terrific, or the third, and I'm not sure. And Kendra Saunders is not the first Hawk Girl. She's gonna be playing the third iteration of her, I'm pretty sure. So, or the second. But yeah, we're dealing with Legacy characters that are casted in this movie. Will we be referring to those characters? Because those are Legacy characters, and Superman Legacy is not called Superman Legacy anymore. It's just called Superman now. But will Legacy still refer to those characters? And will that like play into, the further storyline? I'm really interested in seeing how that's going to play into. Because I noticed that like just randomly, I was just like, they're casting a lot of like Legacy characters instead of just casting like, Hal Jordan Green Lantern or Shira Hall Hawk Girl or the original Mr. Terrific. Obviously, Michael Holt is the more iconic or the more cooler version in my opinion. But, it's just something I noticed. I was just like, okay, that might be a point of contention that they could, further, elaborate on in the movie. Point 5 I wanted to add. So a lot of people have said, since the Kingdom Come inspiration is very apparent in this movie, like since it feels like, the old is getting brought back, and like, what happened to the truth, justice, and the American way, bringing back the old fashioned way of doing things. A lot of people are saying that Clark inspiration could be tied, since we already know that this DC universe is already, superheroes already exist. What if Clark's inspirations of bringing back that old fashioned way of things could be inspired from the works of the JSA, which they would exist in this universe, because they would probably exist in the 1940s, during World War II, where they were most prominent and, helping, the war effort. So maybe, with characters like Jay Garrick and like, possibly Dr. Fate, possibly the original Green Lantern, like, Alan Scott, like all the OG JSA people could inspire Clark to be like, okay, I want to be a superhero, but I want to bring that way of things back into this DCU. So that could be pretty cool, in my opinion. Now I really want to get to this. So my 6th point is my theory that I have, since we know the Engineer is going to be the main villain. And if you don't know the Engineer's power set, I looked it up a little bit, like, before I made this video. Her powers, I think, consist of like she can use her nanites to control people, and to control like she can like mind control people to a certain extent. And I think she can shapeshift. So she can like shapeshift into somebody. So she can like pretty much be like a doppelganger type character. So potentially, when it comes to her powers to control her like nanites in her body and her bloodstream or whatnot, she could use her blood nanites to obviously control, the characters we already know that's going to be in this movie. Could control Hawkgirl, could control, Metamorpho, could control Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, could control any of those characters, honestly, in order to Superman having to fight them, which would be honestly cool as fuck. But still, obviously wants Superman fight the main villain, so that could be probably like a scene, working up to the main last final boss fight. And then, since the Engineer can shapeshift and look like anybody, she could be a interesting threat. She could like just blend in, sneak up on Clark when he's not even noticing her. Like, honestly, like it could play in so many different ways with the Engineer. So I don't know what James Gunn's gonna do with her character. Will he adapt that specific version of the Engineer? Will he like get all those power set, will he adapt the full power set from the comics, or will he probably level, water her down to, nerf her a little bit? We don't know. My last point is, tied to Kingdom Come, a storyline that is similar to Kingdom Come in like the sense of like bringing the old back into like this anti-hero, like dark, gritty, more like, superheroes just kill people type shit. It's cool, way of things. There's another movie that I like to talk about, Superman vs. the Elite, which is a very good movie, which deals with the same type of plot lines or the same type of like themes of Kingdom Come, where it's like Superman has to teach Manchester Black, Manchester Black, of the what's so wrong with that? What's so wrong with truth and justice, the American way? What's so wrong with those old fashioned, believing in hope, believing in people, believing in, everyone deserves a chance, like that way of things. So maybe James Gunn, from like picking from different things, because even with the Superman logo, like even though he's adapted the Kingdom Come logo, he got the yellow outline, which is from the Max Fleischer, or the Fleischer cartoon, and he's obviously keeping the red and yellow, with the iconic more Superman logo we know, of today. So maybe since he's ripping from so many different things, he might be like trying to do Superman versus the Elite in a way where he could like take inspiration from like, I don't spoil too much, but you should watch it. But yeah. So I feel like in this movie, they could do a lot of different things. I'm so excited. I don't know if you can tell by the way I'm talking in this video. Like, I'm very excited. I'm like fucking stammering over my words and shit. But yeah, I'm very excited to see what James Gunn is gonna do with this movie, because he's just casted recently, Perry White, who is what was it, Ern's dad in Atlanta, which I'm excited about. So I'm excited to see him. And then, you know, he still hasn't casted Jonathan and Martha, Ma and Pa Kent. So I don't know if they're gonna be in this movie. Who knows? Potentially, I don't know. But I am very excited. You know, I just want to make this video just to talk about it because I was trying to find videos to like that were like, you know, that were talking about, you know, this Superman shit. And I really couldn't find any videos. So I was just like, let's make a video, you know? Why not? So if y'all like this video, you know, like, comment, subscribe. And, you know, until then, I'll see y'all niggas.